This is the Art Marketing Minute with Eric Rhoads, author of the Amazon best-selling book, Make More Money Selling Your Art. In the Marketing Minute, we answer your questions to help your art career. Brought to you by artmarketing.com, the place to go to learn more about marketing. Now, here's your host, Art Magazine publisher, Eric Rhoads.
Thank you, Jim Kipping, and thank you for joining us today. I am here. My goal is to eliminate the idea of the starving artist. So let's get right to today's questions. So here's a question. This is from Kim Cast in Cape Elizabeth, Maine. As an artist, Eric, should I be paying to be in a gallery? Well, this is a loaded question. We hear from a lot of galleries that charge artists to be in them. Some of them are legitimate, some maybe not so legitimate. You've got to do your homework. You want to talk to the artists, look on the website, talk to the artists they feature. Do they sell work? Do they market their artist? What else are they doing for you? Is it worth doing? What does it end up costing you ultimately? Can they be trusted? It boils down if they work or not work. Are they selling or not selling? Now, there are some legitimate pay-for-play galleries that people go into that work. But keep in mind, if your work is ready, you really should be able to find a gallery to represent you who will take a commission and sell your work on consignment. Usually that's 50%, sometimes less, depending on the stature of the artist. The goal here, remember, is to sell art. And for selling art, nothing beats getting into a really good gallery with experienced salespeople, a client base of collectors so they can help build you up, and a gallery who's advertising and promoting themselves and their artists. That's what you want to look for. You could also look for a local artist co-op gallery. It might be a good place to start. So you pay by giving your time, by working in the gallery part of the time, but you're not putting money out of your pocket. The question I always wonder is, if I'm putting money out of my pocket, if I'm paying you, what's the likelihood that I'm going to have you sell my art? So I think that's a good question. Thank you for asking it. Next question comes from David Terry of Jacksonville, Oregon. I know David. David's a fabulous painter and a fabulous commission painter, and he did my portrait. So David says, I have a prospective client call about commissioning a painting of his granddaughter. 2 great conversations about it, but all of a sudden nothing. I followed up with an email saying I looked forward to working with him, but I've had no response. What's next? Well, people tend to run and hide when they don't want to deal with something. So there's something in this discussion that went wrong. If somebody shows interest and then disappears, chances are he or she liked your work, they liked what they'd seen on your website, and so maybe the problem was price. And so I think what I'd do is I'd phone him and I'd say this: listen, you asked me about a commission for your granddaughter and I've heard nothing from you, so I'm guessing maybe my price was too high, but I'd really like to find a way to do it that's a win-win. Could we sit down and meet in person? No obligation. Let's see if we can work something out. I won't be offended if the price is too high, but maybe we can come up with an idea. All right? And then try to get him to meet with you. If you invest time in somebody, chances are they're going to give you their money, right? So ask him to bring his 5 favorite photos of his granddaughter. And then also anybody else you might want to have painted, bring some photos of them. Then you meet with him and you say, listen, show me the pictures. Before you even talk price or anything, show me the pictures. And you look at the pictures. And then you say, okay, I want to pull out some of my paintings. And you show him paintings in your portfolio of full body paintings, head to toe. You show 3/4, you show portrait, you show, just neck above and so on. And then you show different styles and you say, okay, which of these do you like? Which of the ones do you not like? Which of the ones, have the feel that you'd like to see hanging in your house and so on? Get him engaged, get him to start talking about it. Well, I like this, I don't like that, and you start writing that stuff down. Now that he's engaged, he's more likely to do it. Now, after that, you can just say, hey, listen, we've kind of talked about this, but the elephant in the room is probably the price. You disappeared on me, which I'm thinking is probably my price was too high. What do you really want to pay? And just be quiet. Don't say anything and say what he wants to pay. And he's going to say, well, I really didn't want to embarrass you and I didn't want to make you feel like your stuff wasn't worth it, but I couldn't possibly pay that much money. You say, oh, that's okay. I understand that. This happens all the time. What do you want to pay? And he'll say, well, I'd like to pay this or somewhere in this range. And you could say, well, that that's more than that's less than I normally would get. But maybe we can figure out a way to get there. So, you might say, like, what if I did this one and did one other at the same price? If I got 2 commissions, I'd be willing to lower the price for that. Or, could we compromise and not do such a big portrait? Could we do a smaller one and we can come in at your price? Look for something like that. And chances are you're going to get it. And chances are they're going to be happy, and you're going to be happy because you have it. Now, you have to make the decision. Do you want to violate your pricing? And sometimes we all have to do it, and sometimes we don't. You just kind of have to make that call. So I hope that helps. Well, this has been the Art Marketing Minute with me, Eric Rhoads. My goal in life is to eliminate the idea of the starving artist and to help your dreams actually come true. So if you want to submit questions, simply email eric@artmarketing.com. And to learn more about marketing ideas, you can visit artmarketing.com. Thanks for listening.